A complete beginner's guide to get in shape. Hi everyone, Dan here from The Geek Physique. Welcome back to another video. Before I get into it, everything we're going to cover in this video, we are going to break down even further and give you coaching and accountability on these items in our 7-day free challenge. So you can click the link, it will either be in my bio, the description, or the comments. Once you go to that link, it's the first option on my link tree to join the challenge. Okay, let's get straight into it. So the first step you want to follow is you need to set yourself a SMART goal. This is something that is specific, it's measurable, it's achievable, it's realistic, and it's time bound. One thing that we've found to work really well for all the clients we've worked with is aiming to lose or gain about 1 to 2 pounds a week of weight change. But really, before you think about that, you want to ask yourself, do I need to gain weight? So are you super scrawny, skinny? Do you need to lose weight? You know, if you've got some fat around your midsection you want to get rid of, or are you not really sure? Maybe you're like kind of skinny fat where you have like a little bit of a belly but not really. Maybe you don't have definition in your belly but you just feel quite scrawny as well. Maybe you just want to reshape yourself. Okay, so the first thing I would say is pick one of those, either to gain weight, lose weight, or reshape. And then you want to aim for that 1 to 2 pounds a week of weight change. If it's reshaping you choose, then you actually want to stay within a range of 1 to 2 pounds of your current weight week to week. Okay, but once you made that choice, keeping that 1 to 2 pounds in mind, you can then set yourself a SMART goal. So you can give yourself a deadline and say, by this time, I want to have this amount of weight change. Okay, so that's the first step you want to follow. Oh, and the last thing I want to say about that actually is this is going to help you with motivation, which we will come to at the end because I know it's a hot topic for a lot of people, but it's crucial that you have a goal because then you can celebrate the mini wins along the way towards that goal, and we'll talk about that more in the final step. The next step is calories. So you need to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie surplus to gain weight, and you have to maintain your calories every day if you then want to reshape yourself, okay? So what do I mean by this if you don't know what calories are? They're a unit of energy. All of our food, basically pretty much all our food contains calories. It's only really stuff like diet drinks, like Diet Coke, which may be like 1 cal or 0 calorie drinks. But pretty much everything we consume has calories in them. And a lot of people will say like, what diet is the best for fat loss or for muscle building or whatever it is? The answer to that question is the one that you can stick to, but the bottom line is it's all calories. And this isn't a matter of opinion. This is a matter of science. I'm going to say that one more time. It's not a matter of opinion. It's a matter of science. Okay? And I have people that will come to me, they'll go around the roundabout, look at all the information online. Maybe it's intermittent fasting, maybe it's keto, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And they come back and I say the exact same thing to them. And I think not annoying, but the thing about this is once you know this, then you just have to put in the work, right? And you need to work out that calorie target depending on your goal. And then I think tracking calories gives you the most bang for your buck. Again, in my experience myself and working with clients, even if you don't want to get like show ready, you might think tracking isn't worth it or necessary, but for a lot of people, I would say the majority of people, you do not understand the value of your food in the terms of the numbers, right? And when you track to get to a specific goal, it actually teaches you about the value of your food. For instance, I know that pretty much every packet of Uncle Ben's microwavable rice is about 400 calories. Some are a bit less, some are a bit more, but I know that because I tracked it so many times. And that just gives you one example. And something I say to my clients, like I just said before, is once you've tracked and you've got to your goal, you've then maintained your goal and you've proven to yourself that yes, you can get to your goal, whether it be gaining weight, losing weight, and then you can maintain it. Once you've maintained it, okay, would be kind of your second goal. And I know that's not much of a goal, but maintaining, you can still make a lot of good progress in the gym maintaining, but it will help you really stick to those habits. You can then get away from tracking and eat more intuitively, because you'll know pretty much what you need to eat to gain weight, lose weight, maintain your weight. And then if you want to dial things up and really get focused on a goal again, you can just start tracking again. That's exactly what I do and what I advise clients to do. Okay, next is protein. You need to ensure you're getting the right amount of protein per day, okay? And I'm not going to go into all your calories now. We cover that in our free challenge. There's a bunch of calculators online if you want to go and find them. Okay, you can do a quick Google search. I'm not going to link any, but our challenge, we break down exactly how you can work this out. But I will give you the protein calculation. So you want to hit a minimum of 0.7 grams of protein per day of your body weight in pounds. Okay, so if you're 160 pounds right now, you times 160 times 0.7, and then the number you get back is the grams of protein you need to eat per day. Minimum, guys, okay? Now, if you're very, very overweight, you can take your lean mass and not your total body mass, but this brings me on to my next point. Protein isn't just essential for muscle building, it's also essential for recovery, and last but not least, it's also essential for hunger management. Protein is much more satiating than fats and carbs, meaning it keeps you fuller for longer, right? If you eat a bunch of crisps or pasta or rice, you can usually just keep eating it, but if you have a massive steak, it's going to fill you up a lot more, right? So for those of you who are very overweight, I would still advise you shoot for that number, because it's going to be much harder to overeat that way, okay? Next is your workout schedule. My biggest advice here is start small. Don't go too big too quick and get demotivated and demoralized by doing too much too soon, okay? Because I see it all the time. Oh, Dan, I've cut my calories super low and I've been in the gym 7 days a week and now I'm burnt out and I hate the gym and I just don't want to do this anymore and I want to go back to my old life, okay? You don't have to go absolutely crazy for this stuff to actually get in shape. Okay, if you want to step on stage, that's another conversation, but this is about a beginner trying to get in shape. And to do that, I believe you need really only 2 to 3, more like 3 if you can, but even just a minimum of 2 full body resistance training sessions per week is going to be enough, especially if you're a beginner, because any amount, even if you just do one set of an exercise, it will do something, because you're not doing anything at this point. And even if you've been doing some stuff, if you still do just 2 to 3 full body sessions a week, but you have them optimized, again, that's something we go through in our free challenge in detail. But if you have them optimized, and there's a clue in what I said about full body workouts, right? Optimized, I mean you're doing enough volume across the week to actually make a change, and it is progressive. It actually gets more difficult over time, okay? So if it's an optimized workout routine, and it's something which you could and would stick to, then you know you don't have to absolutely kill yourself in the gym. You don't have to completely give up your social life. It doesn't have to affect your work life. And if you've got a family, it doesn't need to affect that either. You can have it all, guys. I truly believe that. Yes, you cannot maybe be the best at all those things, but you can maybe be a 7 out of 10 on all those things. I definitely believe that you can. And that's what you want to get to. But getting back to the point at hand, getting into shape, if you're a beginner, start there. Prove to yourself you can do that for at least a month. Then start thinking about adding more days. The final part of this, and I alluded to this a little bit earlier, is discipline is better than motivation. I'm going to say that one more time. Discipline is much better than motivation. To get started and to keep you on the good track, you need to dig deep on your why. It's not enough to just say, oh, it would be good if I was in better shape. Yeah, it would be good, wouldn't it? Right? That's not good enough. Oh, yeah, no, it would be nice to have abs for a holiday. Why? Why? Keep asking yourself why and get down to the root of the thing. Maybe it's because you have little self-worth. And I'm not saying being jacked will solve all your problems, but trust me, it's going to do a hell of a lot to make you feel a lot better about yourself, not just because of the way you look, by the way, but because it will teach you discipline. Because here's the thing, and I'll get back to your why in a second, there are going to be times in your life you don't feel like doing stuff, and you're going to do it anyway. Everybody goes to work, pretty much, okay? And they'll go because they're afraid of the consequences if they don't. That's worst case scenario, right? Most people go because they think it's good to go. Most people turn up on time because they think it's a good thing to turn up on time, right? But there are plenty of days where everybody does not feel like going to work, but they still do, right? And the reason they do that is because of what would happen if they didn't. They might lose their job. They might not be able to pay rent. They might not be able to provide for their family, right? Working out, getting into shape is no different. And you can argue with me in the comments if you like. Go for it. But you need to start seeing it as exactly the same. And it's about respecting it in the same exact way. And I believe it's about respecting yourself in the same exact way. Because usually if you have any amount of responsibility in your life, you do have more at stake with your job, or at least it seems that way. But there are still high stakes with your health and fitness. You just need to define those. And this is where it's important to dig deep on your why. So what you need to ask yourself is this: 3, 6, and 12 months from now, what happens if you don't do this? And then you want to answer, what happens if you do this? I want you to write it down, and I want you to be specific. You don't have to tell me it. You don't have to go into the comments and do this, right? But you want to write it down, read it back to yourself. When you set your alarm early, you get up. If you have it saved in your phone, you read it back. If I don't do this, this is what I used to tell myself, and I truly believe this. If I don't do this, I will keep feeling like I'm lazy. I will keep feeling like I'm not really capable of very much. I'll keep feeling like I'm pretty much a loser, right? And you might say, if you don't go to the gym, you're not a loser, right? I'm telling you how I used to feel, right? This is my experience, what worked for me. And it was deeper for me than just looking better. Because what I quickly realized, and I know I've already mentioned this, but I need to drive this point home, and so many people miss this about the gym, getting into shape and staying in shape, is there is really nothing else in your life apart from your own health and fitness, not even your job, right, that you are solely responsible for. No one's going to come and do it for you, right? In the UK, we are lucky enough to have a national health service, okay? I'm not going to get into whether you're for or against that, but not everybody in the world is lucky enough to have that, right? So there is a little bit of a fail-safe if your health goes down the drain and if you've got no money to solve it, right, in the UK. But why would you want that? Why would anyone want that? Health is wealth. The more healthy you are, the better you look, the better you take care of yourself, the better your life is going to be overall. I strongly believe that. And again, getting back to point number 4, if you're working out 3 times a week doing full body workouts, you're in good shape, right? That's not going to affect every other area of your life. So you can still excel in your career. You can still excel with your family, be there for them, provide for them, right? You can do all the things you need to do and be in good shape. And if you don't think you can tell me in the comments, oh, I'm studying right now. Oh, I'm working 2 jobs right now, right? I've seen it all. I've genuinely I've spoken to hundreds of people over the last few years about their goals. And one thing I've realized is all great men are busy. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, what I've found in my own experience and working with people is the more you take on, up to a certain point, but the more you take on, and I feel like this point is way further along, that's why I'm saying the more you take on, the more you're able to balance it. And I know it seems counterintuitive, but it's like you rise to the occasion. One thing I've realized is when I didn't have so much going on, I would be more lethargic. I would procrastinate more. But when I've got more going on, I can't afford to. I literally cannot afford to, because getting back to the why, because of what would happen if I don't do it. And I use that why exercise. It's something Jordan Peterson talks about. I get scary with it, and people might think, oh, that's a bit over the top. Oh, it's not, sometimes I think of guys that go into war, right? And I'm not saying me doing what I do is the same as someone going into war. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, if you see it that way in your own mind, it's definitely going to do a lot more for you than if you just say, oh, it'd be good if I look better. Hopefully you can understand what I'm saying, but you can see how passionate I am about this. I've driven this point home so much. I've talked about this point more than anything else, because here's the thing, guys. A lot of you know what you need to do. It is not a lack of knowledge that holds people back. It is a lack of action. It is laziness. One of my friends said to me this week, I reposted this thing from one of my mentors, and it said in it, once you realize how stupid you are, it's liberating, right? And the point of the post was to say, because then if you're humble enough to admit that, you can learn and actually start moving forward towards your goals. And he said to me, well, actually, no, I actually think, most people are just not that smart. And I said to him, I actually disagree. I think most people are at least a little bit capable, because again, everything's a bell curve. If you know statistics, everyone is somewhat average. Either you're a bit better than average, a bit less than average, or somewhere around the average line. And if you're in that average bell curve, you can get in decent shape, much better shape than you probably are now if you're watching this video. And so most people know what they need to do. You can boil calories and moving, especially if you need to lose weight, down to eat less and move more, right? I'm just breaking it down a bit further of how you can do that. And like I said, in our free challenge, just to kind of sum everything up, in our free challenge, we go through all of these, okay? So it's a task a day for 10 minutes, and it's absolutely free, okay? And I just want to do that to help as many men as possible kickstart their journey to getting into good shape without sacrificing their work or social life. I did it I use these principles to go from being scrawny to somewhat brawny, okay? I was a lot skinnier, so to me, I feel like I've made that change, but I am confident we can help you kickstart this journey. We'll go into detail about the calories, about your schedule, about the workout plan that would be relevant for you based on your goals, because some people, they want big arms, or some people want a big chest, or some people want a bit of everything. And we talk about on a deeper level the consistency, the discipline. And so we run these every few weeks now. So the link, like I said, it's definitely in my bio. I will put it in the description, but it's not always clickable there. I'll put one in the comments once the YouTube video is up. And make sure you just click the first link on my link tree to join the next available challenge. So I'll see you guys on the inside. There should be a video here or here, and I will see you in the next one.